How do I do this? Chad?
You just get it going, brother.
All right. Well, I'll just get out of the way.
You're playing the sun. The wife's on.
No, you said I could be the wife.
No, you're playing the sun.
You just said it. I could be the wife.
The sun is the important
You
part
told
of
me
the
I could be
play.
the wife.
Yes, Katie. Oh, the lights are on. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello. My name is Cecil von Strattonforth, the fourth. I'd like to thank you all for joining us today on such short notice. Now the play now, as you may have discovered, my fellow actors and I found out no more than 2 days ago that we would have the privilege of performing for you today. The call sounded and we answered. Now, the play you're about to see was written by myself, and the players, having had only the last 48 hours to rehearse, thanks for that, have courageously volunteered themselves. Now, some of this show will be improvised, and I assure you, very loosely based on the original. But please, for their gallantly swooping into my rescue and ingesting an amazing amount of material in such a short time, give them no less than your most gracious support, generous laughter, and heartiest applause. Here we go. It's tradition in homes across America, beginning somewhere after Halloween and right before Christmas.
Families gather around their televisions with their popcorn and their hot chocolate.
Grown men are reduced to tears.
Women declare, "That's the sweetest thing I've ever seen."
It's the Christmas movie.
Hollywood figured out decades ago that no matter what age you are,
Or religion.
Or tolerance for mush.
Everybody loves a Christmas movie.
Christmas movies have become film classics and have earned a place in the most beloved movies of all time. But what does a great movie start with?
Cecil, me.
Mary?
Money.
Movie
Sam?
stars.
Cody?
studio executives who are so overblown with self-importance they can't see beyond the bottom line and what their earnings will be worldwide.
Amen.
Okay, well, there's that. But the one thing a great blockbuster really needs, the one thing a great writer and director is drawn to is...
A story.
A story.
A great story is where it all begins.
That's right. Now consider...
Are
you kidding me? You don't know you're blocking already? Sorry.
Okay, so you okay?
Guys,
Consider the story of a man who had it all.
Who thought he had it all?
Well, actually, he had very little.
oh, but he had money. He had a lot of money.
But that was about all he had.
He had a spirit who visited him.
He had an employee who had nothing.
Oh, but the employee had everything.
But he had no money. He had the most important thing.
And there begins a classic telling.
The beloved story.
The cautionary tale.
A Christmas Carol.
Hey, guys, this was a really long movie. How are we going to fit it into 5 minutes?
Well, I have faith in us. Ready? Once, back in the olden days,
The days of
The
yore!
time of yesteryear.
lived an old man. He was a very old and lonely man, and his name was...
Scrooge McDuck!
What? Scrooge McDuck! No! It's just Scrooge. Ebenezer Scrooge. You know, George C. Scott is absolutely wonderful that way.
Oh, I'm sorry. I grew up with the Mickey Mouse version.
Fine. Okay, where was I? See, a lonely old man, and his name was, oh yes, Ebenezer Scrooge.
Bob Cratchit, that's absurd. Why should I give you the whole day off?
Because, sir, tomorrow is Christmas.
Christmas? Christmas? Humbug. Oh, all right, fine. Take tomorrow off, but come in really early the next day.
Really?
We only have like 5 minutes to go, so let's finish get to
Oh,
it.
right, okay. Thank you, Mr. Scrooge. God bless you. And Merry Christmas.
So, Mr. Scrooge closes up shop and heads home. As Mr. Scrooge settles in for the night, he begins to hear noises in his house.
Things that go bump.
Who is that? Who's there?
Hello!
Molly, my old business partner. How is it you're here? Unless you're a ghost.
I am a ghost!
I see dead people.
And I've come to give you a warning, Ebenezer. This night you will be visited by 3 ghosts.
The ghost of Christmas past, the ghost of Christmas present, and the ghost of Christmas future.
No, but I'm afraid of ghosts. I don't be visited by them. Why is this happening to me?
Because, Ebby, you're a mean old man and nobody likes you. And I don't want you to end up like me, suffering for an eternity. Eternity.
Molly, you are a good man, a good businessman.
Maybe so. But my business should have been mankind.
No, it's just a figment of my imagination, yes. It must have been that burrito I had at Chewy's. Yes, that must have been.
Oh, I assure you, I'm real!
So, the spirit disappears and Scrooge, believing he has suffered a terrible hallucination from some suspicious food, falls asleep in his bed, only to be awakened later that night.
Scrooge! Scrooge!
Who's that? Who's there?
Scrooge, it is I, the ghost of Christmas past.
No!
Yes.
No!
Yes.
No!
Yes.
No! I can't see you! You're not there!
What are you for? Open your eyes and let's get on with it.
What do you want with me, spirit?
Open your eyes!
Where are
We are in the past. In your past, Ebenezer. This is your...
we? My boyhood home, yes. I remember it well. That child.
Is you, Ebenezer. Abandoned, all alone.
Yes. His parents are dead and his father's angry with him. And his father's angry with him. His mother died in childbirth, so he sent him away to this school.
Yes, Ebenezer. Your childhood wasn't all that great.
But I grew up into a young man. I met a young woman. Her name is Belle. That means beautiful.
Stop it.
Yes, we know. You fell in love with Belle and she loved you back.
It was the happiest time of my life. I wanted to marry her. But I needed to make my fortune.
And while you were off making your fortune, Belle got bored.
I'm bored.
Hi.
So much for love.
But I became rich.
Congratulations.
Whatever happened to Belle?
Was she married and had 19 kids and counting?
Gads.
But she's blissfully happy now. Unlike you. And so ends the past portion of this haunting. Now, I must leave you.
And now it's my turn. I am the ghost of Christmas present. Let's go see what everyone is doing right now.
Oh, spirit. I'm quite tired. I think I should take a small nap.
No nap. On your feet. I promise them fall off. You can't sleep when you're done with me soon enough.
What was that?
Nothing. Cecil, who is the ghost of Christmas future, will tell you all about it.
His name is Cecil, you say?
What?
How?
We are at the home of your employee, Bob Cratchit, and this is his son, Tiny Tim. You
Right.
no, what?
Down. No, stay there.
God bless us, everyone.
Precious, I have to get a picture. Say Instagram. Cratchit Family Christmas, hashtag Nashville, hashtag goals,
Hashtag get on with it.
Hashtag get on with it's good. Tim is very sick and not likely to live much longer.
Father, will there be any supper for Christmas?
Oh, yes, Tim, the finest goose you've ever seen.
That's not much of a goose.
Curious, since you pay him so well.
Father, will there be any Christmas presents?
We have each other. That's all the Christmas we need. Here's a toast. To Mr. Scrooge.
To Mr. Scrooge? That old miser? Well, I'd like to give him a punch in the
God
face.
bless us, everyone.
Now, we mustn't speak ill of Mr. Scrooge. It is Christmas after all. To Mr. Scrooge.
To Mr. Scrooge.
God bless
We
us.
get it, Tim.
Oh, Spirit, I can watch no more. It's too painful. That poor child.
But don't you see, Scrooge, you're all part of this. This is your doing.
Haunt me no more, Spirit, please. I just want to go home. Please, I don't. That poor child. That poor goose. Please, Spirit, I just want to go home. Spirit, I just want to go home.
Dun 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 dun.
Spirit of Christmas future. Oh, please. I want to go home. I've learned my lesson. Please, what does he want to show me so you can end this nightmare? No. Well, it can't be. No! Whoa! Whoa! Spirit! Spirit, let me go. I don't want to die. I don't want to miss Christmas. I don't want to end up like Molly. I don't want to miss the season finale of The Bachelorette. Wait. I'm awake!
Scrooge was so excited that his visit from spirits were over, he ran to the window and said to a little boy,
You there, boy! What day is it?
Why, it's Christmas Day, sir.
Why, yes it is! And here, take this and buy the prize turkey in the window and have a Merry Christmas!
awesome! So Mr. Scrooge bought the turkey in the window, and not only did he provide them enough food for a feast, but he also doubled Bob's salary and made sure Tiny Tim would live.
God bless us, everyone.
What a gift to be given.
A second chance.
Chance to change, to make things different.
Just like new fallen snow that makes everything new and clean, our Heavenly Father grants us the chance to empty our lives of the bitterness and regret.
Redemption.
Grace.
Mercy.
Themes that are widely accepted across the Christmas season, whether you're a church-going believer or not. People are searching for a second chance.
A do-over?
I wish I'd been better with my money.
I wish I hadn't said that to my mom.
Wish my marriage wasn't suffering.
I wish my child would come back home.
But thankfully, we serve the God who gives us second chances.
We serve a God that specializes in grace.
Consider the story of a man.
A man who had everything.
He had a family that loved him.
He had a nice house.
He had a good job.
He was well respected in the town.
He made it possible through his building and loan business for people to have a home.
A roof over their head.
Because George loved his community.
I forgot, y'all. He had a spirit who visited him.
No, not a spirit.
Potter. You'll not get the best of me.
Now, George, calm down. I'm not trying to get the best of anybody. Clearly, your building and loans can't pay up on the money you owe people. So, I'm here to help. Come work for me, and everything will be all right. I can give you the money you need to keep you out of jail.
Never. I'll never work for you, Potter. You're an evil old man who just wants to own this town.
George Bailey was the sort of man that everyone loved. He was the town's hero. He saved his brother from an icy death when they were just boys.
He stayed home until his brother can come back from the war, giving up his dreams to travel.
He got the town together and united during a stock market crash. He was a man who seemed to have it all together.
But George found himself in a situation where all hope seemed lost.
In fact, everything seemed lost.
Crazy Uncle Billy had to go and lose a stack of money that was supposed to keep things afloat.
But sometimes even the best of men have their breaking points and need to be reminded of the most important things in life.
Confound it! Why can't anything go right?
George, what's the matter?
Nothing. Who's playing the piano? Can't she learn a different song?
But Daddy, I was just practicing for the Christmas party.
Humbug!
What was that, dear?
Well, I was just listening to a story earlier, and that word got stuck in my head. Let's see, where was I? Oh, yeah, I'm gonna go run around in the snow and be miserable and think about how horrible my life is.
But George.
So, George wandered around in the snow and darkness.
Went to a bar and got into a fight.
Crashed his car into a tree.
And finally came up on a bridge. And a thought.
A thought crossed his mind.
I could just end it all right here. It can all be over. I wouldn't have to worry about anything anymore. I wouldn't have to feel regret or disappointment. My family hates me. I've lost all their money. Mr. Potter's going to have me arrested because I can't pay out a loan. I'm going to lose everything. Might as well just...
And just as George contemplated ending it all, there was a big splash. Splash! In the icy water below. You know, there are some days when we feel like there's nothing left to do but to give up.
Like we should have gotten out of bed that day.
Like, maybe the world, well, will be better off without us.
Enter Clarence, the angel. Now, George
Being the honorable man that he is.
jumped in to save Clarence, who had jumped into the icy water below.
What'd you go and do a thing like that for?
Well, I did it to save you.
You jumped in first.
Well, I saw you were going to jump, so I jumped first to change your mind.
I wish I'd never been born.
Wow. You just get right to it, don't you?
Tick-tock, tick-tock.
Oh, that's right. George, baby, since you're so miserable and you feel this whole world would be better off without you, I hereby declare you never been born.
Never been born!
Now you're just talking crazy. Never been born.
Never been born!
Jeez! Who do you think you are, an angel? Wait a minute. This isn't Martini's bar. Oh, Mr. Gower? What happened to you?
He put poison into a kid's prescription when he was a pharmacist and went to jail for 20 years.
What?
It's because you weren't there to stop him when you were a boy, George. Don't you remember? You've never been born.
Never been born!
This is crazy. Bedford Falls has gone crazy!
What? Bedford Falls? This is Pottersville.
No way.
When?
It finally started to sink in with George that Clarence really was his guardian angel, and made it so that George had never been born.
Oh, never been born.
Never been born?
Never been born. George found himself in the cemetery and came up on a grave with a familiar name on it.
Wait a minute! This says... That says Scrooge. Wait a minute! This says Harry Bailey! That's my brother. Wait a minute. Well, Harry didn't die. He went on to save all transported soldiers in the war.
No, George. All those men died. Harry was never there to save them because you were never there to save him when he fell in the lake all those years ago.
Clarence, where's Mary? Where's my wife?
You really don't want to know. Guys, this is the part of the movie that gets really dramatic. And I cry every time.
Stay in character! Pick up your hat! You have to tell me!
George found Mary closing up the library. She was an old maid.
Hey.
Well, that's what the story says. She was an old maid, and...
Did you have to say it again?
You made me lose my place.
Bless your heart.
Old maid. George is shocked when he sees her, and he tries to convince her that she is his wife.
Mary, don't you know me? Why are you screaming?
Hey, what's going on in here? Hey, you get out of here, man we never seen before, who for all intents and purposes might as well never been born.
Never been born.
Get out of my face!
Hey, you can't
Come
push
on.
me like
Come
that.
on.
Hey! What? Get out of here! George ran back to the bridge to reconsider his original thought of ending it all. After all, he lost everything that he cared about.
His family.
Well, yeah, that's about it. He loved and cared for his family.
He loved his town and all the people in it. They were all his family.
People are what mattered most to George, not money or possessions.
He cared about making a difference in people's lives.
Dear God, I want to live again! Please let me have my life back! I just want to live!
George, you better come with me. I've been looking all over town for you.
What? You know me? You know my name?
Of course I do, George.
Merry Christmas!
George ran all the way back home, not caring anymore that he'd probably be thrown in jail because Mr. Potter wanted him arrested.
Merry Christmas, Bedford Falls! Merry Christmas, Movie House! Merry Christmas, Emporium! Merry Christmas, you old building and loan!
George ran all the way home to find the police waiting for him. But he didn't care.
He didn't care about going to jail.
Because he had his family back. And not only that, there was a bonus. People were flooding their house from all over the town to show their love and support for George.
And George and Mary Bailey lived happily ever after.
Because George finally realized that happiness wasn't about the things that you can accumulate. It's not about having the most money or the biggest house.
It's about making a difference in people's lives. It's the lives you touch and the people you surround yourself with.
Wow! That's great for the Baileys. What about me?
Maybe your life isn't Hollywood.
Wait a minute, Cecil! What about me? When do I get my happily ever after?
What?
Yeah. I've been waiting around for so long and I am still stuck in a rut. Nothing seems to go right. Maybe I should just jump in an icy river and see if somebody will bail me out.
Yeah, it's been 3 months, and I still can't find a job. It just doesn't seem to matter how good or faithful I am. I just can't seem to catch a break. I go to church, I serve my community, and I'm faithful with my time.
I'm not trying to focus on
My
ourselves.
marriage is in shambles and my wife is finished with me. Where's my Clarence?
Why can't things ever work out for us like George?
Why is it that at Christmas we feel so much more inept?
You know, just once, I want to give my kids a big Christmas that they deserve. I just can't seem to keep my head above water.
But wait, y'all, Christmas isn't about giving, it's about receiving.
That's right. It's about giving. And the point is that... Wait a second. That's not what you said. You said it's about receiving?
Yeah, what's up with that? Christmas isn't about what you get, it's about what you give.
No, that's where you're wrong.
Wait, how can you be wrong? How can you say that?
Consider the story of a boy, a round-headed kid who had an obsession with kicking footballs.
Oh, you mean Charlie?
Don't say his name. But we can't say the name or title because of copywriting. 75, 90 years.
What's so bad about saying Charlie?
Whoa! Hey, good. Guys, hey! Katie! One more time. Yeah, just hold him there for a second. Come here for a second. I'd really like to know where you're going with this.
Charlie!
Consider the story of a boy.
A boy who loved his dog.
He wanted to be happy at Christmas, but just couldn't seem to get in the spirit. So Lucy... I mean a particular girl who masqueraded as a therapist and was known to pull out footballs from under would-be kickers, put him in charge of the Christmas pageant to see if that just might lift his spirits.
Oh, no. We're not doing this. No.
Come on!
No, Cody. Barry, we're doing it. Let's move on.
Looks like we're doing it. We need one more kid?
One more? No.
No,
I'm
no,
going to
no,
be
no.
No.
Do it!
Looks like we're doing it.
Yeah! Woo! All right,
That's where everything went wrong.
That's
The
right.
round-headed kid couldn't get people focused on the pageant.
Yeah,
I got the
focus.
kid playing the piano, I wouldn't stop playing.
The other kids wouldn't stop dancing.
It was a big old mess.
All right, that's enough. All right. Katie, oh my goodness, I am so sorry. Are you okay? Didn't hit the box?
After rescuing a tiny little Christmas tree from the Christmas pageant to get the ball and being made fun of by everyone because of said Christmas tree, our favorite blockhead gave up and realized he would never know the true meaning of Christmas.
But then a wise kid with a blanket.
All the smart and cool people carried blankies.
Yeah.
Just saying.
A wise kid with a blanket reminded everyone what Christmas is all about.
Lights, please.
Ridiculous. Are you kidding me?
And there were in the same country shepherds, abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of the Lord shone round about them, and they were sore afraid. And the angel said, "Fear not, for behold, I bring you tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. And this shall be a sign unto you. You shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger." And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of the heavenly host, praising God and saying, "Glory to God in the highest, and on earth, peace, goodwill toward men."
Christmas is about receiving.
For in this way, God so loved the world,
that he gave his one and only Son.
So we should not perish.
But have everlasting life.
Christmas is about receiving the gift that God has given us, eternal life through Jesus Christ.
Maybe your life isn't Hollywood. No one's is. But I contend that God has outdone anything that Frank Capra or Steven Spielberg has ever put on the silver screen. His plan for your life is so much bigger than Hollywood could ever dream of. His plan, his story, begins with a baby.
A man!
And a woman.
Chosen by God to deliver a very special gift to all mankind.
And talk about special effects. I mean, come on. A giant bright star that led people to the baby?
Right? And what about later when he grows up and he's all like, "Hey, I'm walking on water, y'all." Hey, he's going around healing people and casting out demons, and he's all like, "Demon, come out!" Oh, and then there was that one time when all those people were hungry, and he takes the fish and he makes about five.
Yes. Jesus did all that. But before he grew up, he was born to a simple carpenter.
Then he grew up and put all those Pharisees in their place, and he was all like, "Hey, if you without sin, cast the first stone." Remember that? That was awesome.
Yes, he did that too, but...
Oh, then there was that one time when he was out in the desert, and the devil goes, "Hey, if you're the Son of God, you could totally take over everything." And Jesus goes, "I so could, but I'm not gonna, because that's not the plan, loser."
Yes, you're right there too, but the point
Oh, and then there was that one time when he found that robot in the desert with the message from the princess, and she was all, "You're my only hope."
Oh, you kidding me?
And then he got on his spaceship and he blew up that big shining star, and he was all like, "Beep, beep, 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 beep." And then he got on the bridge with his staff, and that big demon's looking down on him, and he's all like, "You shall not pass!" And then he falls into the pit, and they're all, "No, you're not my father!"
The point is...
And then that elf got out of his bow and arrow.
All right, that's enough of you!
I'm sorry.
The point is that God, in his infinite wisdom, had a plan.
A screenplay?
Well, okay. A screenplay. God is the master storyteller, and he has written the story of your lives. You know, we'd all like to think that in our story, we're the disheartened bank manager who saves the day and wins the heart of his friends and family. Or the dramatically rich miser who has the classic change of heart. And yes, even the hero who saves the princess.
Or you'll find that your story is very much the same that God told about himself. A simple child, from a simple birth, with humble beginnings, growing up in a small backwoods town, eking it out just enough to live until it was time.
Time to help the helpless.
Time to heal the sick.
Time to feed the hungry.
A time to be the light.
Time to share his story.
As you remember the greatest story ever told this Christmas, remember that your story,
The one that God has crafted just for you.
you don't, isn't finished. For the one who began a good work in you will perfect it till the day of Jesus Christ.
God bless us, everyone.
Yes.
Let earth receive her King. Everybody! Let every heart prepare him room, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing. We wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.